Welcome guys, on this episode of The Desert Road, we're bringing you a 2022 Volvo XC60. This is actually the R-Design, and it happens to be our personal car that replaced the 2021 XC60 Inscription C6. This is actually the B6 model with the mild hybrid motor. All right, this is our 2022 XC60 R-Design B6 with the mild hybrid motor in there. We're going to start off with the exterior. As you can see, they updated some of the changes. It's a refreshed grille, a new bumper. I believe these wheels stayed the same from previous years. This thunder gray paint is a new option on the 2022 XC60s, and it looks absolutely spectacular. The R-Designs come with the blackout package, black mirrors. I think it looks great, especially against this color. The roof rails also come in black. Back here you can see they got rid of all the exhaust tips now. I think they're kind of merging this design towards electrification, or so that's their new design language back here. Overall, a very nice package, especially in this color. Looks absolutely spectacular. All right, we're going to talk about probably my biggest disappointment about this car. I wanted to address this because this is one of the things we didn't realize is the change, such a significant change from the previous XC60 we had, which was the Inscription model. So it's actually, the issue I'm having is with the seats and these overly bolstered paddings right here that are very stiff. So I'm not a fan of these seats. A lot of people are. So this is something, if you're shopping for one of these, make sure that you're comfortable in the R-Design and you actually like these seats over a longer duration. So something for you to consider, and make sure to not leave that out on a longer test drive when you're evaluating the R-Design XC60. All right, next we're going to take a look at this back seat, right? And the back seat in here is actually pretty great. It has adequate room. As you can see, we have a base here for a child seat, and for not a large car, this car has surprisingly quite a bit of space in the back seat, more so than other cars in the segment, such as the Audi Q5 that we also know and are well familiar with. So, make sure the space fits your family and your needs, but for us with one child, it's been enough room definitely in this car. All right, let's take a peek at the trunk, see how much space we got back here, and how usable this is. So the trunk actually has quite a bit of room. We've taken an XC60 on quite a bit of road trips, and it definitely fits all of our family gear, a couple luggages, I mean, anything you might potentially want. The only downside, I mean, everything is well spaced out here, is this car cover right here is a little bit flimsy. When you see that, there's just a little notch right here to hold it. Outside of that, it's definitely one of the weakest points of this trunk. But outside of that, it holds everything you need. It's got a little net right here. I believe there's even there's potentially a spare tire somewhere in there. Yeah, exactly. Perfect. We're ready to roll. All right, today we're in the XC60 2022 R-Design. It's about a month old. It's actually our personal car.
What's the power and torque?
The power stands at 295 horsepower and 310 on the torque. So it's got quite a bit of power even off the line. So this almost never hesitates. I definitely like, this is a B6. I like this over the B5 version, which kind of almost felt a little bit underpowered to me. So this almost never lags, and it's very smooth delivery. I think in part due to the mild hybrid motor on here that powers it up, gives it a nice jolt straight off the line as well. This 2022, it replaced our 21 T6, which was a turbo and supercharged engine. So roughly the same power. This just delivers it just slightly different. So previously we had the T6 Inscription model, where the package was slightly different. We moved into an R-Design, and overall I love all the R-Design changes. It's got the blackout trim, it's got a sportier body kit. The front bumper on here looks tremendous now. The rear bumper is changed up as well. In this thunder gray, they look absolutely fantastic. The wheels, I believe they carried over from previous R-Designs. We went with the 19-inch wheels. It gives for a better ride. A lot of these R-Designs and other XC60 models come with 20-inch wheels or bigger, and that will definitely affect the ride quality a little bit depending on how sensitive you are to it. So overall, I like the design of these 19-inch wheels and how they ride on the road. Overall, Volvos ride on the slightly stiffer side, so it does not have the floaty feel sometimes that even like maybe some Mercedes or some versions of Audis might give you. So you do have to adjust and get used to this ride a little bit. Overall, it's still very, very smooth. It rides great. There's no issues in that department. The interior in this R-Design is also great. I love all the changes that they put in here. Over our inscription, it has this beautiful aluminum trim in here. This sort of fake leather clad dash. It looks fantastic. Also one of the best changes that I like in here is the black headliner. That comes with all the R-Designs. The R-Designs also do come with their own specific, rather sporty seat, right? And to me, that's one of the bigger cons of this car. I actually have to use a little bit of a seat cushion to get comfortable in here. The bolstering, especially on the seat part, is on the overly bolstered and stiff side. So please do make sure, if you do consider this model, to make sure you're comfortable in the seat for any duration of time beyond just a test drive. Moving on to the infotainment system, I really like the changes and the updates they made to this 2022 version. They went to this Google Android based system. A lot of people have been complaining that there's glitches. We actually, in a month of driving, have not seen nearly any hiccups with this system. It's been working flawless, and it's quite leaps and bounds faster in responsiveness and smoothness over the 2021 we had. Everything works extremely fluid and smooth. There's virtually no lag. It starts up much faster on startup. One of the keys, especially because then you have faster access to all the AC controls, that's kind of a must in a car where they start removing so many of the physical buttons, is to have immediate access and startup on this infotainment system. You have the old digital gauge that they also changed up a little bit. For the 2022, you have a version of the Google Maps now right in there. There's an option to turn it off if you would like. Overall, I like the change that they made. It's very subtle but effective. It's simple. It doesn't cluster this up, and overall, it's very, very great. All right, a couple more things to note. The AC is definitely fantastic in here. There's no issues with that, even in the summer heat. That's been great. The stereo system, it has the Harman Kardon in here. I believe all the R-Designs come with that, and I actually really enjoy the way it sounds. It sounds, I don't know if they actually made any changes to it or not, but it definitely sounds better than the Harman Kardon we had in the 2021 inscription. So got good bass, just a good stereo system overall. I do enjoy using this infotainment system now. It's very smooth, fluid, and responsive. The room here is enough. We're a family of 3 right now. We have a 1-year-old, and this car works phenomenal. The back seat actually has quite a bit of room here, more so than we found in other cars in this segment. The trunk space is very adequate. We've taken several road trips, some of them longer, to hold all the luggage, toys, and cribs that we need in here. No issues with that. Overall, this is a very, I'd say it's a spectacular ride. Couple other things to note. I definitely enjoy the fact that we have the advanced package in this car, which is a must get. It comes with a heads-up display, the 360 camera, which are all definitely awesome safety features and just convenience features to have in a car like that. Also, the R-Design definitely has a couple extra great touches. It's got the sportier steering wheel. It's got the aluminum pedals. The shift knob is different in here. I think a little bit more black accent trim in this car, which looks fantastic. The seats are different, as I previously mentioned, a little more bolstered. One more thing to note, with Volvo ownership, it's definitely great. They include 3 years of factory free maintenance from the onset of you buying the car. I know some other manufacturers do that. BMW might potentially do that. But it's great that Volvo does put that out there, and you have a hassle-free ownership experience, definitely for the initial duration of the car. So that's always an extra perk where you don't gotta, you know, worry about extra out-of-pocket costs or anything like that. The other thing I didn't mention yet is the cost of this car. I believe with all the options, this had a sticker of $59,500, somewhere in that ballpark for this R-Design. Again, remember, this is the B6 model with the upgraded engine. It has a little more power and torque over the B5 version. So to wrap up this review, I think the XC60 is definitely a phenomenal contender in this segment. It's different than your typical X3 Q5 lineup. I think this car feels a little bit more special than some of those other choices. We especially like this over some of those other cars. It rides well. It has a quiet interior. The 19-inch wheels ride very well on this car. It's comfortable. It has plenty of pickup, and especially in this Thunder Gray, it's not something you see on the road every single day. So personally, I would highly recommend checking this out or putting it on your list. If not for the R-Design, definitely look at the Inscription model that comes with the seats aren't as bolsters as these. It's slightly more comfortable. Overall, you can't go wrong with any of these choices. Overall, it's a fantastic option, all-around option for families, or just even if it's just you by yourself. You won't run out of room or power or style driving this amazing sport utility vehicle. So we went over pretty much the majority of this car. We discussed some of the pros, we discussed some of the cons for you guys to think about and make an educated, well-purchased decision in this car segment. Good luck in your search, and hopefully I was able to help you out and guide you in the right direction on your SUV hunt. Till next time.